All right, the watch list for tomorrow. MOBI is on there, although I don't love it now. We had it on watch for today, and just to give you an example of how we do things in the chat room, we had it on watch because of this big volume pop. So today, it sold off for the first about 15 minutes. These are 5-minute candles. I called it kind of on a, well, I called it on a 5-minute buy setup. I called it right there, long and low of day stop. So I think it was 822 with an 803 stop, about 20 cents risk. And we got up to 880 something, 885, and called for a sell, literally right at like 882, because it was getting what we call upside shape into recent highs. See this high back here was, let me try to find the exact price there, it was 881. So we had an initial sell-off, bought the turn right there, and then sold into what we call shape change into recent highs. The reason that sounds like I'm bragging is I am. It was almost a perfect trade as far as the buy and the sell. But that's the kind of things we look for as the market unfolds. So that's MOBI. Because of the recent volume, I want to have it on watch again for tomorrow. Ross Stores, ROST. Nice breakout today. That one follows TJ Maxx, TJX, which had that pop. So ROST, I want to have back on watch, see if we can't get a second day on that one. DEPO, very nice volume spike there, up into recent highs. So that one's just on watch. I don't even really have a long or short bias on it. I want to see how it acts around that 15 level. May end up being a short, but we'll see. ZPIN, not a lot of history to go on here. A recent IPO, and the reason it's on the watch list isn't because of what you're seeing here, but because after hours, I guess they reported, and it went up to 1550, and looks to have settled right near the highs of after hours, 1540. So that is about where it traded up to in after hours. So without a lot of chart to go on, this one could give a nice pop tomorrow. CZR. This one, looks like it's trying to bottom. You had this kind of flush out here below 12 and right back up. And it's having issues with the $14 area. 15-minute candles here. It's not that hard to see. So any kind of volume and a push through 14. This one, you kind of got an inverse head and shoulders. If you squint your eyes, you can kind of see it. So up over 14 with some kind of volume might give a nice quick trade. So anyway, that's CZR. And Loco. This one finally coming back down to reality. I talked about this in the video last night. It's been, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 days since this thing has closed above its open. Look, every one of these candles is red. And now we're getting down to, this had some really nice, a couple really nice bounces off the $29 area right here and right here after the first 2-day run. So that's an area to watch, 29. But really what I'd just like to see is this thing trade in a narrow range and give me an afternoon high of day break. We could get a nice trade. But also keep that 29 area for an intraday candlestick setup around there. We might get a nice pop. That's LOCO, I'm almost done here, guys. Don't know anything about this one, but it's had a really nice run. Obviously another recent IPO and a couple big down days. So if we can get down to, retest these highs back here, around the $32 area, we might get a turn and a bounce in that area. So that one's on bounce watch. HIMX has been on watch for a few days. Haven't done anything with it, but you're just basing, or you could say flagging, cup and handle, whatever. If you get a push through 8 on volume, that one could be nice. And lastly on my list, EXAS. Had a couple trade ideas in this one today, but I didn't really time it very well. But as this thing started to close, I told everybody this is going to look pretty good going into the close. So if you're in it from a couple of the earlier ideas, and one of them was just right here on this break of the high of the day, but my stop was at 1760, so that didn't work. And then when it got back up, I said, hey, this one, again, through the high of the day could work this time, and it did. Unfortunately, I told everybody I had a really expensive sandwich for lunch because when this broke the high of the day again, I was going to take it, but I don't know, maybe it looked like this when I went to go get a sandwich, and by the time I came back, it looked like this. So I'd missed it, and I wasn't going to chase it. So anyway, having said all that, this one still deserves, it might come up here and retest recent highs. Pretty good news in that stock if you want to do some research. So watch that one for an intraday setup. And I'm going to leave it like that. Remember, it is slow, low volume August trading. So cut your position size down. And I'm literally only making a few calls a day because I really want everything to line up right now, as thin as the market's trading. So some might call me boring at times, but I'd rather pick a few that work than nickel and dime myself to death. So that's kind of my philosophy right now. All right, have a good night, guys.